Don't be afraid. Just give me a call. Big D, Derek Lambert. A lot of people said they're scared to call me. Don't be afraid and don't think you're bothering me. Text, call, do what you got to do. Now let's get into the fentanyl.
Jesse, what's good, bro?
What's up?
Look, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, dude, I forget. You know, out on the East Coast, we shake up and we don't knuckle after.
Oh, okay.
So like, I'm used to.
See, like when I grew up in Denver, like what we used to do, we used to be like this, and we kind of keep it like this, and then after we snap, like we either just go like this and snap, or we do this and then snap after we bump.
Okay, everybody does some different stuff, man. Yeah. So my boy here, Jesse, hit me up, right? I tell you guys, call me, because I'm not joking. Am I joking?
Not at all.
Not joking. No, but this is dead serious. He hit me up yesterday, found out he lives 15 minutes from me.
Last night, bro.
Mm-hmm. And so, here's where we're at, man. You've, how long have you been using, like, period? I know you're young.
Like, I'm 21 years old. I just turned 21 last week, and I've been smoking. Well, at first I started with alcohol, you know, like when I was younger, because I grew up in a German household, and so like beer and alcohol has always been present, and it wasn't looked at in that type of way, you know. So I've always been able to grab a beer or get a drink since I was like 14 or 15 years old, and it never occurred in my brain, and I never looked at alcohol in a type of way like I look at like other drugs, you know. Right. And I still am like that today. So I never like got that type of alcohol mindset to like want to drink a lot. It's always just been there, and I could drink one beer and not drink a lot.
Right.
I'm good at that. But then like I found weed, and then like weed was always frowned on in my family, bro. And so like honestly, like I feel like that's a bad way to like show your kids, because for me, like when I saw weed, it was like I was missing something, and I had found the key. Like
oh yeah, I loved it.
I loved weed the first time I smoked it, and I thought all I would ever need is weed, you know. And I said all I need is weed, and I won't need any other drug. I told myself that, like when I was 15, right. 14, 15 years old, you know. And then it goes on like that, and then over the next like 2-3 years, you know, other drugs come. Like I tried psychedelics, you know. I always liked shrooms and stuff. I still kind of have my little ways with it, you know, breaks on and off with it. And then then I had a painkiller, right, a Percocet, because my grandpa has them, and he had them in the bathroom, just in the mirror, you know. I always would look at pills, because if I ran out of weed, like when I was younger, I would just find a way to get high. Like that's when I started looking up like what kind of medicines over the counter that you could take a lot of to feel some type of way,
right,
you know. And so I ended up like seeing like, oh, like oxys are like oxycodone. Like I looked it up, like what is it, and it's like a painkiller. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll try some. I took like 4, dude, like 4 tenths, which is like, that's kind of a lot for your first time. I took 4 tenths for the very first time, just because I got hella high, bro. Like but I liked it, not too much. I was like, it was like I shot up, like I was nodding and shit. Like at first I was uppity, like I just done a line and had energy, right, and like itchy, like you say. But then it like kind of wears off into that nod off. But I like that nod off part. But this was the very first time I ever did it, and so I took like 3 or 4, because beforehand when I would take like an over-the-counter medicine to get high, like it would always be like I had to take more than it dosed it. But with this medicine, like if you just take 1 or 2, like you're gonna get high off it. I didn't know that about the oxys, so I just like took a lot at once, and I liked the feeling, but I didn't just get addicted from that first time. Like it was just there, and I kind of got scared of it because it got me so high that I was like, damn, I'm gonna give that a break, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then so that went on like on and off, like taking it from my grandparents every time I was in town, because that's when I lived in Colorado, you know. But I would fly back every couple months to visit my dad and my family, because I lived out there with my mom and my stepdad and my little brother. And so then I started like having pills in my brain, like knowing that pills get you high, and I like pills. And then it got into Xanax, bro. I was huge into Xanax. Like that was my drug of choice for like 2 years.
The footballs or the bars or both or peaks?
The bars, I didn't like the bars, because sometimes when I got the bars, they would be pressed or they would be fake, you know. And I wanted to make sure that I wasn't getting a fake one. Like I wanted to get it from my friend's mom, and she has a script, so I could literally go to my friend's mom. Like she had hella footballs, and she would sell them to me for $3 each.
The blues?
Yeah, no, the green ones.
The green ones.
The green ones. Okay. And I've had the blue ones too, but she always got the green ones, but they were the 1 milligram ones, the half of bars, you know, but they always got me perfect, bro. I would have that in my brain. I would depend on the Xans for like 2 years of my life, from when I was like 17 to like 19 years old.
And you got off of those? And
I got off of those because I started, the way I was feeling, I started to figure out the drug. Like once you take the drug more and more, you stop getting that euphoric high, and you start like noticing like the bads about it and everything else. You start noticing it not for the good of it, for the whole entirety of it. And so I started noticing how it made me feel like days after and during the high, like, and I didn't want to be a slower person, and it made me not worry about like some thoughts that were in my head, but I can't just numb all my thoughts, you know. I gotta face them and deal with them, come to reality with them.
What took you from that, and then, so your current drug of choice, the be-all is fentanyl.
Fentanyl right now, yes.
Fentanyl right now.
But it got there from all this experience beforehand, previous. Yes.
Okay.
And when I quit Xans, I thought that I was done with pills, bro. Like, I thought I was done, you know? And because I would get help, all those oxys from my grandpa, and I would just trade them for Xans, because the demand was for oxys and people were trying to get rid of Xans, and that was good for me because I was the complete opposite at that time. And then once I figured that out in my head, that like I didn't like the feeling of the Xans anymore, I started to not just take the oxys and keep them for myself, you know. And then like I ended up looking for the 30s, the oxy 30s, and those are the ones that fentanyls look like, that are fake fentanyls look like. They look like oxy 30s. They have the M with the 30 on the back, you know. That's how oxy 30s are made, you know. They look exactly the same. Mexis, they're called Mexis, fentanyl, Roxys, whatever you want to call them, you know. And there's 3 different kinds of Mexis. There's dark blue ones, which are like dark blue, like, I'm trying to think of a blue that I can compare it to, like this like color blue, like this, literally. And then there's ones that are like white with baby blue specks in them, and then there's ones that are just all flat out white ones. And most of the time, the ones that are either all white or the ones that are dark blue are the strongest. Like, it just depends on the batch. You could have some that aren't strong at all and some that are super potent.
These aren't actual pharmaceutical from the prescription. These are stamped by people who make them, right?
Yes, but at first I was getting the real ones, you know, until I got the real oxys, the 30s, the 30 milligram oxys. But then one time I got a fake one, but it was a good fake one, and I liked it. It more, and I was popping them at this time. And I remember I would pop half a 30, and sometimes I would take another half, like if I wanted to get higher after that half didn't hit me, depending on the day or whatever. And so
swallowing them.
At this time I was popping them like normal pills. Okay. And so I would take the half. And I took that half that one time, and I remember how much it got me feeling like I had taken 2, like, of a regular one, you know? And so I was like, what the fuck? You know, like how you talked about that in that one video with the $5 Roxys, like when you weren't satisfied to take it, the Opanas, that's right, the Opanas. You said like you weren't like hyped about them at first, but then after you took them, you're like, damn, they're way better, actually.
When I knew how to do them, like when I, well, according to the streets, you know, lick the coating, crush them down, and then snort them, took me to another planet versus swallowing them.
Okay.
So you found out about how to snort them.
Yes. And
did someone show that to you?
Okay. Yes, I kind of knew that because some of my friends had even snorted the oxys, like even before, like they had gotten pressed pills, or they would snort the oxys, or they would even smoke the oxys. But I would never think that I would smoke them like I do now. Like, I smoke fentanyls when I
put them on tinfoil.
I use them in tinfoil, and I get a straw and I fucking light shit under them. It's like, to me, that's like it's like someone's what's it called? Like, their routine. It's like,
it's your ritual.
It's like the ritual when someone gets their syringe and fills it up. It's the same thing for me when I get to go and break my piece of tinfoil off and grab a straw, and you know, it's like, even me talking about it right now, it's sad. It like makes me feel good talking about it.
Right,
you know?
right. No, I understand. I understand, and that's not the purpose. We're just trying to show where it's gone, and I get it. That trigger's there.
It's no, it's good. I'm glad it shows the viewers that like those feelings are real, bro. Drugs can grab the greatest of people by the nuts, straight up. And as I was getting to it, I popped the half of one, and I loved it way more. And I asked him like, yo, like, are these stronger than regular? And he's like, yeah, I think they're fets. I think they're pressed ones. And I'm sorry they're pressed, but do you like them? And I'm like, yeah, I actually do. I like them better. And he's like, well, I can get you these ones now. Like, he told me that. You know, I feel like he kind of played me and like snuck that one in on purpose to kind of get me, you know. But me and him were kind of cool, you know. I had always sold him like bud and shrooms, you know, because I used to grow my own shrooms and I like plants and stuff. But other than that,
I relate because the dope dealer that was selling, he got a hold of Opanas one time just to get my attention.
Yeah.
And Opanas were hard to get at this time. They were very expensive.
Yeah.
So the day came when he's like, bro, listen, I'm telling you, this heroin is the same as this Opana. And I'm like, bro, no. Everybody knows not to mess with heroin.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's the devil. Like, this is from a doctor. Like, that's from whoever made this. You don't know, right? So you start rationalizing your mind, and he's like, look, I'll give you $30 worth for $20. Hook you. And when I tried it, he had the kind that was snortable because I didn't inject. There was no way. I would never.
Yeah.
I told myself I'll never do that shit.
That's what I tell myself right now.
You never were going to smoke it, or you never were going to snort it. Yeah.
Exactly.
So you, right now, where are you at right now? You are currently struggling with the beast of trying to smoke this shit. Every time you turn around, you're fighting that animal, right?
It's myself in my own brain. Like, I gotta feed. I have the good side of me, and I have the bad side that tells me to do drugs. I'm not saying I have two multiple personalities. I just have those bad thoughts that come to my head, you know, and I listen to them sometimes, and I have to feed the good side, and I have to listen to the good side of my brain. And the more I go into the good side, the more it takes over the bad. You know, the more I feed into the bad, the more it'll take over the good.
So what are we doing right now, bro?
We're helping the good.
So what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do, bro?
I think we're gonna try to go to rehab.
We're gonna go to rehab, baby.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it happen, bro. I mean, it's being separated like you saw.
I feel like I deserve to go to rehab because I never. Like, my parents wanted to send me, like, years ago when I was off the Xans, but I never wanted to go, you know, and now I feel like I want to follow that good part of my brain, and I found it, like, in everything that's, like, in the past week or two, everything's been leading towards, you know, my soberness and a better time, a better place for me. Like, this isn't a good place for me, dude. Yeah. I struggle every day, and I'm such a happy person. I don't deserve to be, like, in the state I'm in, bro.
Right.
Because I'm a happy soul. Like, when I normally am, I want to make everyone's day good. That's how I am. That's how I view the world. I want to go around and try to touch every person I can in a good way. Even if I don't know you or you can't do anything for me, I'm gonna come up and I'm gonna make you feel some type of importance, because I like seeing a stranger smile and knowing I made a stranger feel good. You know, that makes my day.
It's interesting you say that, because it's my opinion on what I've seen so far. This has not just been a personal journey. It's also been a lot of research in this journey of mine over the last 4 years. And I've noticed that us drug addicts, man, are some of the most real, down-to-earth, truly lovers of humanity type people. We've done some dirt, I get it, but man,
because we've seen a lot of bad things, and I feel like we have empathy for a lot of, like, people, because we've ourselves have been in shitty spots and felt like we need to jump in the dumpster to grab our
fellow man,
or anything, you know, or like we
help save people, bro.
Yes, and it's not even that. Like, I was seeing this video where someone like threw their syringe and stuff in the dumpster, and they noticed themselves dumpster diving for it, and they thought in their head like, wow, I look fucking crazy right now, I'm in the dumpster, like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel for you, dude, because I know how that feels. I've had it where like I would smoke it, and there would be like a little bit of resin, and I'd cut my straw open and scrape off all the resin inside the straw, just to have one more little hit that didn't even make me feel any type of way. It just, in my brain, I knew that I was smoking something. Like that's fiending, and that's like on some that's tweaking to me. But I feel for that, because I've been there in where I thought I was in my right state of mind, and I wasn't. And I was doing those type of things. So
you would never do some of these things.
So that's where drug addicts create a lot of empathy for other people, I feel like.
Well, dude, we're gonna do this, man.
Hell yeah.
And so we're definitely gonna talk. You know, I'm gonna be there for you. we'll talk to your parents and stuff too, and so everybody's on board.
Yeah,
and
my mom, when she gets off work, we can sit down and have a conversation with her, and she's proud of me. Like, she texted me like, I'm very proud of you of taking this step, Cole. Like, that means a lot, you know?
Yeah, bro.
She even notices. She knows.
No.
She knows that I needed to get clean myself, and like, she's been seeing it in me like over the past couple years. Like, I've been wanting it, but I just have to make like the big step, you know?
And look, I mean, you know, most
And you're
people are
helping me with
afraid.
that, dude.
Right. You were a
Straight
little
up.
afraid, I'm sure. Like,
Yeah, I am. Even last night when you were talking to me, you probably felt it off the phone that I was like hesitant, but I had to go with you because like, I'm not gonna get these opportunities all the time, and I gotta jump on it. And the way that life was leading me, like, I can't say no, because it's been showing me too much beauty towards that side of things. Like when I told you
Man, I'm
the night
feeling this.
before. Yeah,
I'm feeling this, bro.
awesome.
What you're saying is real, and I relate 100%. Someone out there is afraid right now, bro.
Yeah.
Someone who's watching this right now
I was
is
afraid last night. Like, I'm afraid today, but that's why I have you now. Like, we're
That's
in
right.
it together in a way. I feel more comfortable now because this man dropped everything he did just to help me. Like, he called a rehab place to get me in order. I didn't do anything. You know, he took these steps for me, and I like, that means the most to me. Like,
I
you're my
appreciate
brother
it, man.
for that.
Yeah. Well, regardless, man, because like I wish the system was better for everybody out there, where everybody could just end up going to rehabs.
I'm
Yeah.
so lucky about my insurance and everything. That's
I'm
so
another thing.
lucky,
Like,
dude.
there are free programs for certain people who don't have that opportunity. And look, reach out. I've got information that I can get you guys. I'm learning about making more connections with more places. Man, when you saw my day 5 and I was laying there on that couch, I had been separated from the drugs, but I was so lucky, bro, that I didn't relapse so many times. I wanted to many times. And if I was in a facility where someone could be there keeping me separated from the possibility of the dope man. I mean, let's look at it like this. Say I didn't have my phone. Dope dealer lived 2.5 miles. What's 2.5 miles, man?
I would skate that. Like, I'm like that
walk
now.
that, bike that, whatever.
Yeah,
and I don't even need a number. I'll have him bitch me out. Because I didn't call him.
I'll walk on your door. I don't care.
And you're gonna be mad at me. I get it, but I'm gonna do it because I'm trying to get straight.
And you're trying to get your money. In the long run, you're gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it because I'm fiending.
Sad, bro.
So I had to be separated though, and I was lucky I was separated for the first 4 days at that lady's house. I wish I was in a rehab, and I just wanted to document, man, because look, your story matters, bro. Everybody's stories matter, and what you said today, I can bank on it touching someone who's afraid right now and they're scared to take that step. But you don't have to take it alone.
No, and everyone feels alone. Like, I felt alone yesterday. I felt alone the day before that. You know, multiple days before. Every day there's gonna be opportunities. Just our drug addict mindset is to avoid them and to stay in our like safe haven spot. You know.
Yeah.
And to get out of that safe haven spot, you need to do drastic measures and feel uncomfortable and take the steps to get you out of that route. And that's the truth about it.
You're right. You're young, so I can't use a marriage analogy, but I want to say, like, imagine it's a very, very unhealthy marriage, an abusive marriage. You love her, though, or you love him, whoever that is, and you need to be separated from them, though, in order to get better. But you don't want to say goodbye forever because you do love them. So what you do is you don't say goodbye to fentanyl forever. You don't say goodbye to heroin forever, okay? But what you do right now, just right now, you don't have to say the rest of my life, I'm never going to do this again. Don't think that way, bro.
Yeah.
Trust me. Because that mindset of I'm about to give up something that I hold so cherished forever, that's
It'll
scary.
fuck your brain up.
Yeah,
you
don't
have to
think
put
that
it
way.
off, and then in that month.
For right now, I'm going to just take a break. I'm just going to take a break.
Yeah.
Trust me, just take a break. Hey, it ain't going nowhere, bro.
I know.
It's going to be here on the streets, trust me.
Yeah.
Take a break, bro. And then once you come back, a new man, see how you feel about
exactly.
it. Okay? See how you feel
See
about
how
it.
your brain
Trust
set is after you take that break, and if you want to go back then. You know?
And now that you live near me and I didn't even know this shit,
Yeah.
you bet your ass you're hitting me
Yeah,
up,
you're
man.
going to be on my ass too, and I want that.
I
you know,
am.
that's
I'm going to be
good.
like, yo, where you at, bro?
I know.
Talk to me, man.
Yeah.
And that goes for anybody out there. You guys hit me up, man. This is my boy Jesse, and dude, I just met him yesterday. He called me.
Yep.
The first time he called, I picked up, and I was
First
like,
time, dude, I was like, is this Derek? Because I wasn't gonna call you, and this is what I told him last night. You know, imagine everyone that didn't call and you touched anyway. You know, he touched me even before I got to call him with one of his videos and some of the things he was saying. You know, it really pierced my heart. And so when I got to talk to him and he answered the phone, it was 11:30 last night when I was high off fets. I had just finished smoking like 3 in my room, straight up watching videos to try to get clean. That's what I was doing. And I called him and he answered. And
Look
it was
at where
crazy,
you're at.
dude.
You're smoking your fentanyl while looking for answers to get clean.
Yeah.
That tells you something.
Yeah.
That tells you something.
That's how it's been.
I
for
was
the
the
past
same
couple
way,
weeks,
bro. Towards the end, I was researching, how do I do this without pain?
Yeah.
How can I stay clean forever? Those are things I was typing in Google and YouTube, and
Yep.
and I was doing it too. When I was on that couch that night, I was researching, and I found a guy who made it to 30 days. He documented it, and I was like, bro, his face was glowing. I knew.
On 30 days?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how even when I see you after like the 7th day, I'm like I want to be like in that 7th day by now, you know, because I can see it getting better each day. Like you feel more real life feelings, you know, and I miss that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I miss it, but I know deep down inside I do.
You want to
it.
be happy without needing something that's
And
really...
I can be at some points in my life, you know, and I want to save it right now before I can't at all, you know, because I'm not so down that there's some people that smoke fentanyl that will wake up in the morning with shakes, or they can't even go to sleep without hitting it. There's some people that are that far in their addiction. I'm not that far in my addiction, and I could have been that far, but I didn't use so strongly like some people do. Some people can't stop smoking them. They'll smoke a pill an hour. They'll literally sell everything they have to get their pill that day.
That was me, man.
Yeah.
That was me. That's where I was at the point of everything.
And I'm getting to that point in my head. I'm starting to think that way, and that's when I had to look out for help, because my brain was starting to think like I could sell this TV and I could sell this, I could steal that. I was literally starting to feel those feelings, and I was like, wow, no, I can't. That's what scared me, dude.
Wow, man.
I was starting
I'm glad you
to
stopped it before.
I was, because literally I was starting to feel like I could sell my Xbox, I could sell, you know, I could go steal the generator, all that, bro. It was only starting to come to my head.
I might as well say this, just to, I mean, this is not to put fear in you, but this is for everybody out here to kind of remember. Remember on day 5, I was in that detox center, and I saw, you mentioned this, and I saw whoever he was, Lil John, Lil Black, whatever his name was, Lil G, okay? He scratched into the desk.
Yeah.
I left this place a changed man, and he dated it.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing right under that Little G 2 years later saying, it's the same shit.
I'm insane.
Yeah, like he's crazy. Like it's the same shit over and over.
And I told you when I first saw that on video, I rewinded it, because the first time I saw it, like it hit my heart. I was like, fuck, like it made me feel sick in a way, because it's so real and it's so true, because you'll have those mindsets where you're like, oh, I'm better, I'm doing good now, and then like, no, you're not. Like you bit into that drug 2 months later, even when your brain was 2 months clean. You don't know how to act when your brain is 2 months clean, because you haven't felt that way before. So how would you know when you get to 2 months clean that those temptations you're not gonna bite into?
Well, that's the thing. Don't get too full of yourself. You live in the moment. Like I said, you don't have to give her up forever. Just give her up today.
Yes.
That's it.
And you can go not even a day, like at least, like, if you're trying to use so hard, at least say like, I'm not gonna use for this hour for my brother, and maybe once that hour is over, you can tell yourself in your head, I'm gonna not use this hour for my mom, I'll use heroin or I'll use fentanyl later on. And then when it comes to later, you just gotta keep telling yourself hour at a time. It's literally that hard.
Well, there's some people that are so sick right now, they really need to be in a facility.
They do, and they're dying because they're not. It's true, especially with the fentanyl, because the come downs are killing people.
Well, not only is it painful to the point of like that, people are dehydrating and they could possibly die.
You don't eat when you're off fentanyl. Like you don't eat. You don't think about food at all. Like you want it, like snacks, food tastes good, but you don't think about your meals and you eating. You just eat when, like, you either eat a lot of junk and you feel like shit, or you don't eat at all.
Huh.
Yeah.
Look, everybody, thanks for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe and like. And Jesse, got any closing words, man?
Nope, just Thank you for being you, man.
You know it, bro. And I'm gonna knuckle you on that one and snap. All right, guys, love you. You know, call me if you need me. I'm here
Call
for
him.
you. All right, y'all.